Hey guys, welcome back to Libro review. I hope you're doing very nice. I'm sending a lot of hugs and positivity to all of you. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my obsession with self-help books, why I limited the amount of self-help content that I consume, why you should and can limit the number of self-help books that you read on a day-to-day basis, and what do you read if you do not read self-help books. The timestamps are in the description. You can skip ahead to the start of the video, but I have very exciting and very big news to share with you guys. So I've been working on like this secret project since a few days. I've not talked about it at all on YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been giving constant updates about it on my stories, and I'm like talking about it and how I'm like the BTS of it, but I've still not talked about what exactly it is. I did go live on Instagram and that IGTV is still there where I kind of revealed what it is, but that was still not the whole thing. And I want to reveal it today. Like, it's like the big reveal today, and oh my god, like I'm so excited. I make longer video content on YouTube, and I make shorter like reels, 1 minute reviews, like pictures, all those kind of things on Instagram, and then I give constant updates, like daily updates on reading, daily updates on what I'm doing, my activities, my habits, everything on my stories. So everything is good. The only kind of content that I'm not able to produce and make it reach you guys is long form of written content. I write a lot. You guys know I do a lot of journaling and I do a lot of thinking, and I always pour my thoughts down into my journals and into my other notebooks, and I feel like there's this whole part of me and whole part of my life that I do not share with you guys because I write that stuff down. It is difficult for me to say it in video format. It's difficult for me to say it in like picture format, short or long, whatever it is. You have to read it in written form for you to understand the depth and like the feelings behind whatever I have written, and I'm not able to do it. That is the reason I came up with the idea, drum rolls please, of sending you guys one newsletter every single week. 4 newsletters from Libro Review, 4 newsletters from me, where I'm talking about very personal things. The second big part of the same news is that I'm actually working with TTT for this. Terribly Tiny Tales is a company, is a brand that works with like big influencers, and they are all about writing and soulful writing and talking about the things that matter. And TTT and Libro Review are working together for this newsletter. We came with this new platform called Fanbase, where creators can go ahead and send newsletters to the people who subscribe. So you only get to see my content if you want to see my, like if you only get to read my content if you want to read it, because you have to subscribe to the newsletter. So it is very beneficial for you. You don't get to see what you don't want to see, and 2, I get to send out long form content, and I am assured that you will be reading it, which is why like it's the best platform for me right now. I'm going to leave the link in the description to the newsletter. You can go and subscribe, and the first newsletter goes live on this Sunday. Every Sunday in the morning at 11 a.m. you will have a new mail, and it's going to be a very personal thing. Like, oh my god, I know that a lot of you have subscribed to this channel only for bookish content, right? And like a lot of you have subscribed to this channel for journaling content, or I don't know, unboxing and hauls and whatever it is. But if you are subscribed to this channel because you like you know, my personal content, or you like my personal stories, or you get inspired by me sharing my pain and me sharing my struggles with you guys, all those sorts of things, you want to like get closer to me because I desperately want to get closer to you, you can subscribe to the newsletter, and it will be you and me one-on-one. We can talk one-on-one, and I'm so excited. I'm also going to throw in some freebies and tools for your own growth, for your personal growth. I'm going to talk about stories and things that have helped me to embrace my true identity. I'm going to share my favorite songs with you guys, my favorite food with you guys, what I do on a day-to-day basis, how my week has been, all those kind of things, and I'm so excited. It's going to be a very personal experience. So if you do want to get the newsletters, again, the link is in the description. You just have to go and press subscribe. Like, that's it, nothing else. It's free of cost. It's completely free of cost because I wanted to reach you guys without any cost whatsoever. So it's completely free of cost. Please do go there and subscribe. I'm like really excited. Now that we're done with the newsletter content, let's begin the video. If you're subscribed to the channel since a long time, you know this already, but if you're not, I used to be like the self-help junkie. I got into this reading world because of self-help books, because of non-fiction books, because I read books that showed me like a path to getting every single thing that I can get in my life, building the life that I want to build for myself. The kind of content that we are not taught in schools or colleges, and nobody teaches us that stuff, you know, and it's so important. All of it is so important, and I do want you to know that this video is in no way like, you know, showering hate towards self-help content or self-help books at all, because I still love them and I still have tons of them in my shelf, and I am still going to buy them. It is only about talking about the negative effects of it. If you overdo it, is to buy tons of books, but then something happened, and then I got into the world of fiction and I got into the world of non-fiction as a whole. So we always think that self-help is non-fiction. There is no other kind of non-fiction. At least that is what was going on in my head. So if I want to read non-fiction, it means I have to read self-help. But when I started with Libro review and I had to explore various genres and everything, I realized that self-help is not the only kind of non-fiction there is. That is when I gained perspective, like a wider perspective on what the self-help content was doing to my brain. This is why I limited my consumption of self-help content and reading self-help books, and I think that these reasons can be helpful for you too. I feel like this responsibility on my shoulders to share this with you guys, because I talk about self-help so much on my channel and I buy so much of self-help. I don't want you to go ahead and blindly buy books simply because it's a self-help and it will help you live a better life and stuff like that. These are a few things that you must keep in mind. Let's begin. The first point is being overwhelmed, gaining too much information, too many habits to be created in your life, too many things to accomplish in your life, too many changes to be made to your life when you're reading a self-help book. So if you're not reading self-help books properly, there is a huge possibility that you're so overwhelmed, you see that everything in your real life is stupid, it's junk, it's useless, and then there's a self-help world and you're like, I am useless, you know, I don't do anything right. Some self-help books tend to do this. They tend to show how your life is not what it should be, and they show you all these ways in which it can be the life that you want it to be. Now, as I said, that's amazing, and self-help books are amazing, but if you're reading too much of self-help, you will be so overwhelmed by the information, you'll be so overwhelmed by the fact that the things are not the way they should be. You are going to be scared to death to actually take action, because if you want to change something, it can only happen when you're taking small steps. And when you read too much of self-help, your head knows that you got to do a lot of things. So doing a fraction of it will mean nothing to you. There will be too much information, too much self-help, and no action. So if you see yourself going through self-help like crazy, but not executing anything at all in your real life, please reduce the amount of self-help books that you are reading. I always say this, one book but taking 25 actions is way better than reading 25 books and doing only one thing out of them. Second, a lot of self-help books have these one size fits all kind of a mentality or like kind of a structure to the book. Not all books for sure, but some of them do have it. 1 and 2, if you're reading too much self-help, that is how your brain will start functioning. The thing is that we are human beings and every single human being is different from each other. One size does not fit all. We are all different. Our needs are different. The way we take information is different. Our origins are different. Our difficulties are different. Our struggles are different. Our privileges are different. Nobody is starting from the same start point. We all have different lives. But a lot of self-help books do treat our lives as if like there's this one line where all of us are standing and we just have to start the race from there. But that's not true. And I do not want you to feel like if you're reading a book and you're not able to do the things that the book is saying, there's something wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you. We're just having different struggles. I really do not want you to belittle your own struggles or problems simply because one self-help book is talking about how there are bigger problems in the world. So if you see yourself doing this, if you see yourself belittling your problems and thinking that if this system has helped someone else accomplish something, why isn't it helping me? Then please limit the amount of self-help books you're reading, and then listen to what I'm going to say towards the end of the video, what you should be reading instead to build up the life that you want for yourself. The third point is very related to the second point, which is if you read too much of self-help and there's this continuous pattern going in your head, because a lot of self-help have the same thing to say. So instead of like just reading one book and following what the book says, if you are like repeatedly reading self-help, your mind, your brain is like, okay, there is like this set pattern and there's this set thing that I have to do in order to achieve the life that I want to achieve. You completely forget that that's not true. It's different for everyone, and your life is going to look completely different from someone else's life. You have these creative energies, and you have these creative juices, and you have all these experiences and knowledge and power that nobody else has in the world. You're unique in your own way. Do not patronize yourself, or do not shut down all of that creative energy because no, I have to do something that this book, self-help book, has said. One thing I do want to mention over here, again, self-help is not wrong, it's the way we consume it. So if you are reading one self-help book that is meant for you, and you get this tailor-fit self-help book for yourself, it will liberate you because it will teach you consistency and discipline. And discipline is freedom. Consistency is freedom. Having set patterns is freedom. Like when you know what you have to do, when you have the habits, it's freedom. You do not have to fight with yourself every single day to do, like exercising, for example, for hydration, for example, whatever it is. It is freedom. It is when you have overconsumption of it. If you overdo it for yourself, you'll just forget the spontaneity of real life. The fourth point is very important. Only if you're overdoing self-help books, or you're not reading the kind of book that is meant for you, you get into this mentality of what should be, what your life should look like. One, and two, a lot of self-help books come from the origins of the hustle culture. You constantly have to do, otherwise you constantly have to be productive, you constantly have to achieve, otherwise your life is meaningless. Those books, they suck. Okay, they suck. I hate those books that tell you that if you are not achieving every single day, there is no worth to your life. Like, shut up. Okay, the fact that you are born is enough. You've achieved everything there is to achieve the day you were born. Like, that's it. This life is meant to be lived, and if you are working and building something up for yourself, it's because it's your purpose, and it is like uniquely designed for you, and that is the reason you do it, because you enjoy doing it, because you love doing it. Again, it's not related to discipline and consistency and determination. That's completely different. But if your entire self-worth is based on productivity, I think it is high time that you check on your self-help consumption. You probably have this gorgeous life with you right now in the moment, but you're reading all these self-help books every single day, and you feel like it's not what it should be, or I'm not where I should be, or there is like some end line that you have to reach, which is not true. There is no end line. The only end line you're going to reach in your life is your death. Again, goals formation, achieving your goals, everything is so different from basing your self-worth and your life and the purpose of your life only on getting that one goal or something. Like, no, you have a beautiful, beautiful life. Like, don't let self-help steal the amazingness and the beauty of your present. And that brings me to the last point, which is self-help can be addictive. If you are in an environment where you do not like your environment at all, and that is when I do say that the kind of content that you consume is very important, especially if your environment is not the environment that you want to be in. So like, that is okay. But the problem is that if you read too much of one kind of self-help books, like the proper self-help books, you get addicted to it. Like, you don't do anything about the kind of situation you are in. You don't do anything because you're so overwhelmed by the information. Like, all these points are connected. You don't do anything, and there's this illusion, there's this world created for you, and you keep going back to it. When you're addicted to the self-help world, it is very difficult for you to be inspired by it. Instead, you go over there and it becomes your escape, an escape to the world where everything is perfect. But your reality is completely different from it, and what you actually have to do is change your reality. Self-help is not controlling your life. A self-help book cannot dictate your life. It cannot tell you what to do, what things should be like. You tell yourself what to do and what your life should be like. If you are not, for example, very, very interested in fiction books, what do you do at that time? Now, here's the thing that I realized for myself, that self-help is not the only kind of non-fiction book there is in this world. There are various genres of non-fiction within non-fiction that can inspire you, that can boost you, that will help you to get back into your reality. They are so practical. They are just the things that you can do on a day-to-day basis. They will liberate you from some things that you are holding within. And I know books like this, you know, like if you guys do like this video and if you guys want me to make another video on books that are liberating, they're non-fiction but they're not self-help, I will make a video for you guys. Let me know in the comment section. But those books are also amazing. So self-help is not the only kind of non-fiction that you need to be reading. The next question is, what should you be reading if you're not reading self-help but you like non-fiction? So if you do like fiction, or if you have never tried fiction, I do suggest that you give a chance to fiction books, because they can be beautiful and they can teach you lessons with the help of characters. You actually see characters doing them in their life, facing their own struggles, and that is way more inspiring. It's more real because you see that those characters are going through the same thing as you. So fiction can be an amazing start for you, or if you already like fiction, then amazing. Even if the books are not inspiring and motivational, just reading like a funny book or like a, you know, mythology and stuff like that, give yourself a break from self-help books. That's it. Second is the various genres that come under non-fiction. So for example, philosophy, spirituality, creativity, travelogues, like there are multiple genres that come under non-fiction that you can read. Now if you do like stories but you do not like fiction, you can read biographies and autobiographies. They're stories of real people. Next up, start reading non-fiction books on the base of your needs. If you're reading a non-fiction book, for example, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying, it is a self-help book, okay, but it teaches you the specific thing of how your environment is affecting your mindset and how a clean environment can give you like this clean mindset and you feel more at peace and stuff like that. If you read influence, or if you read, like if you want to get into marketing, you read marketing books. If you want to get into a business, you read business books. If you want to read about time management, you read about time management. If you want to read about art, you read Art Matters, or you read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. There are multiple videos on my channel and multiple videos on YouTube itself. Bookstagram community, the booktube community is so huge. We have books for you, like completely categorized. So you just click on those videos. If you want to read health books, I have videos on my channel, for example. So click on that video, pick one book for yourself and read that book. Read about manifestation, read about the law of attraction, read all these books, like explore it for yourself. Don't let books control your life. You control the books that you read. You create your life. Last but not the least, when should you be reading, or what kind of self-help should you be reading? So you have this one self-help book that has worked wonders for you. For example, for me, Think and Grow Rich has been that kind of a book. Just now I got a book, What They Never Taught You. That is going to be one of those kind of books. Letting Go by David Hawkins, that I recently read, is going to be one of those kind of books. So these books have a lot of valuable information that fit for you in your life, but like reading it all at once is going to be too heavy for your head. They're all self-help books, okay? So you get these self-help books for yourself and you read a little bit of it every single day. For example, You Are a Badass at Making Money. It comes under finance / self-help. So you read a little bit of You Are a Badass at Making Money every single day. Please don't rush through 10,000 self-help books and do nothing. Doing is always way more important than reading. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Also, please do subscribe to the newsletter because I cannot wait to talk to you one-on-one. The link is in the description. I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.